But I wanted to get to a bigger point. Because the time comes, somewhat pun intended, for us to take the gloves off when it comes to Jake Paul.
Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet.
He's fixing the fights. It's not fair. It's an embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men.
Stephen A. Smith is calling out Jake Paul, slamming what he describes as a disturbing pattern in Paul's boxing career. Furious, Smith says it's time to take the gloves off, both literally and figuratively. He accuses Paul of orchestrating fights that appear rigged, or at least ethically questionable, repeatedly choosing opponents who are significantly older. Citing the upcoming bout with 58-year-old Mike Tyson, Smith calls the matchup dangerous and irresponsible. He argues that Paul is using massive paydays to lure aging legends into the ring, not for sport, but for profit, calling the entire
These are the kind of things that I'm talking about here. Boxing's a skill. Let me give y'all an example. Remember Francis Ngannou? Remember that monster? That Nigerian nightmare? Remember him? And then we saw him show up and show a little skill against Tyson Fury, who came there out of shape. What happened when he got into the ring with Anthony Joshua? He got put to sleep, much in the same way Nate Robinson got put to sleep. Boxing is a skill. Jake Paul is a professional. He trains. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Beterbiev, Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation.
A wave of confusion swept through viewers during the 7th round of Jake Paul's fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., as some fans noticed that online platforms were already listing Jake as the winner before the fight had even ended. This premature declaration sparked serious concerns about the integrity of the match. How could a result be posted before the final bell? For many, it raised red flags and intensified suspicions that Jake Paul's fights might be predetermined. To skeptics, it didn't seem like a simple technical glitch, looked like a glimpse behind the curtain, hinting at possible behind-the-scenes manipulation and adding fuel to long-standing allegations of rigging in Paul's boxing career.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight, and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Peace.
Many fans struggled to reconcile Julio's unusually passive performance with the strong reputation he once held. Throughout most of the fight, he appeared strangely static, displaying little of the aggression expected from a seasoned boxer. His lack of offense drew criticism, especially in the final 2 rounds, where his few thrown punches seemed more like an effort to preserve pride than to secure a win. Some viewers even dubbed Jake Fake Paul, suggesting he wasn't up against genuine opposition and implying the bout felt more like a staged performance than a real contest.
Under 40 in 6 months. And he's been off the El Chapitos. He's been off the El Mayo Zambada up his nose. So he's probably more like 48 adjusted. A 48-year-old man. Okay. There's numerous angles here, right? Was he paid not to throw punches? That's possible. Is he just 48 in La Coca years? That's also possible. What we know for a fact is, Fake Paul's useless, honestly. He's proper useless. Chavez like this, just standing there. No pace. In the last few rounds he had a little bit of pace. Even then, Fake Paul just clings on though. Fake Paul's, I've been saying this, Fake Paul's got no inside at all. He's got no stand and let's have a look. Let's work here if he's coming at me. He clings on for dear life. He kind of pushes his punches out, slap, slap, slap. No, all this talk of power. These dudes, Chavez actually, he looked a bit smaller than Fake Paul. Fake Paul's not a cruiserweight. He's a light heavyweight, honestly. He's so soft. He's got like these big rubber dinghy arms. Big rubber, soft. Chavez looked more like an athlete. But that'll be on, well, is Jake Paul going to fight anyone? They're already walking back the Zerdo situation. Oh, Zerdo don't sell. Well, we knew Zerdo didn't sell.
People are still tweeting and debating the legitimacy of the fight, with many fans convinced something wasn't right. Skeptics have pointed to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s lackluster performance as suspicious, arguing the bout may have been rigged. One user summed up the sentiment, tweeting, Jake Paul, fight clearly rigged. No way a real boxer sat there for 8 rounds barely throwing a punch, then suddenly starts really boxing in the last 2 and looks fresh as hell. Nah, you can't tell me nothing. He was told to lose and just make it look close at the end. This kind of mismatch has become increasingly common, especially in fights featuring high-profile influencers like Jake Paul. The spectacle draws massive attention, but many traditional boxing fans feel the sport itself is being compromised. The rise of influencer boxing has generated buzz and revenue, but critics argue it favors showmanship over skill. When a name like Chavez Jr. is involved, expectations are for a genuine fight, not a performance. Yet in this new era of entertainment-driven boxing, controversy is often what keeps the spotlight.
You felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
Oh, yes, rigged, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer in there. I get it. It's like generating money because our attention span is so short. You look at clips now, it's like 7 seconds. I saw a dude slamming a lady the other day and they were like, oh my God, that dude is, I'm like, well, what the do? I'm just gonna pick somebody and slam them. Where's the whole video? And our attention span is just so small. So money talks, of course. Yeah, let's get an influencer in there who has no style, but it draws attention. It's just dumb to me.
Another widely debated angle suggests the issue wasn't a fixed fight, but a financial one. Some believe Julio's shockingly low punch count just 13 over the entire bout points, not to foul play, but to a lack of preparation. To these critics, it wasn't rigged, it was just an easy payday. They argue that Julio showed up for a check, not a challenge. Many fans feel Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. should have intervened to preserve the family's legacy, calling his son's performance a public embarrassment. Accepting the fight in such poor condition, they say, felt less like a competitive effort and more like a sellout pride traded in for a quick payout.
I mean, if he does, it's going to be one of the great stories of this generation, isn't it? They start off as YouTubers, as influencers. I love working with Logan Paul and KSI when we did that fight together. It was the sort of start of it. My kids love what they've done, the whole Misfits thing. Look, yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and that European title fight doesn't get any better. But Jake Paul has millions and millions of followers.
Jake Paul has strongly denied rumors surrounding his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, calling the accusations baseless and driven by jealousy or fear of his rising success. According to Paul, critics often claim his biggest fights are rigged in an effort to undermine his achievements. However, fans remain skeptical, especially since many of his opponents have been retired legends or inactive fighters. The Tyson bout, in particular, has intensified scrutiny due to Paul's track record of controversial matchups.